right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heist Garage Shop Talk. We're back in studio. Well, we've been on a small hiatus just because, again, personal stuff.
Been fucking busy, dude.
We've been...
I think we talked about this the last time, too. We didn't do, like, 2 episodes. And I was like, dude, we're just fucking busy. On. We're both busy.
I mean, one of the big things is... we said it in the last episode, too, or in the last couple episodes, that we started... we're coaching, so...
Spreading our knowledge.
We're supporting the youth in our new endeavors. But yeah, I mean, it's been cool. We had a couple interesting practices or whatever, but the podcast is kind of got put in the back burner, but that was just because, again, it was just
we had other priorities.
We got other stuff to do, but you guys are actually going to get 2 episodes this week, so be grateful or thankful for that. You're welcome. And just wanted to jump into it. I mean, the business is picking up, really. The mobile mechanic business, like, we got a couple oil changes going and stuff, so
that's good. Oh yeah, I think this past weekend, no?
Yeah,
I told you to come with me to do a detail, and you're like, "Oh, I can't do it." I was like, fuck."
So
there goes my 1 hour detour.
Yeah,
dude, there's 2 hours.
There's been a couple things going on, so that's cool. But yeah, and then that too. There's been those flaky people as well. I mean, everybody has stuff to do, but that's the whole point of, us being mobile. We're here to, like, accommodate you.
Yeah.
So it's all good. But
don't flake, guys.
Yeah, just don't flake.
Hit us up, whether it's for a detour or something mechanical, your oil change. Don't plan it. And if you are gonna flake, let us know before the day of, not while we're on our way over there. And hey, man, I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's like, all right, dude, I already bought all this shit.
Yeah.
You wanted something special, whether I gotta go buy iron decon, and my brother has to go buy the filter and the oil.
Exactly.
And now we're stuck with that shit, and there's no way for us to use it.
Exactly.
Or the worst part of all is when people don't say anything and you show up and they just ghost you.
Yeah,
and
like,
dude,
just
what
like,
the fuck?
Hey, what am I gonna do? Or like, I'm on my way, and then nothing. And you're like, okay, I'm outside. Nothing. It's like, the least. I mean, the least you could do is say something. Obviously,
you'd be like, hey, I gotta cancel. I'm not gonna ask you why, dude. You're not calling off for work. And I'm like, why? Yeah, exactly. What happened? Why can't you do it? Like, hey, I don't have time. All right, cool, whatever.
We need you to be here.
Yeah.
Just say something. But other than that, it's been cool. Been getting people with a lot of questions. Actually, this past weekend helped out Eddie with his, a new cool tool. I forget the brand. They're out of here in Ontario, California. It's like think something. I don't know. Point is, Eddie was like, hey, the van's not starting. It's having trouble. I tried to jump it and nothing worked. And then the next day he was like, hey, the van, it's good. Like it started, and I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, if you want, I can still go check it. He's like, yeah, for sure. I was just gonna go with the regular voltmeter and just literally test the battery, because I really have no other way to test, like, the alternator or the starter. And so Friday comes, Ozzy comes, Cornwell, and lo and behold, I see something to test the battery, and it looks like jumper cables. They're just connected with a little cord, and I was like, okay, cool. There's a little window on the positive side, and it shows you how many volts the battery has. So, all right, that's dope. I keep reading, and it says, oh, Bluetooth app. It does the starting and charging test. So I was like, oh, even better. This is exactly what I needed, because the other ones, like the one that I like, it's from that brand Altal, and we use it at Firestone, and it's like it looks like it's like the Zoom podcast. And it's got a touch screen. You could print the results out, and it connects to the OBD2, so it reads the VIN and all that, and what the battery. So, and it does that. It tests the battery, the starter, and the alternator. That thing's like $500. Don't get me wrong; it's really good. You could use it as a scan tool as well. But yeah, $500.
You can't do that. It's not a. Something you just get on the spot.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. Well, I don't really do this all the time, so whatever. So I see this. It's like $65. I'm like, okay, that's nothing. I asked Ozzy, hey, is this good? He's like, that brand is really good. They're up and coming. They're here in Ontario, so the warranty's good. It's quick. It's easy. And it's just, try it out. Let me know. I haven't had a lot of people use it, but it is a good brand, so I'm hearing good things about it. And then he was like, and as you go, if you keep buying tools from that brand, you just add it onto the app, and it adds on and this and that. So I was like, all right, cool. again, later on the day or whatever, Eddie's like, oh, the van's not starting. All right, cool, whatever. So Saturday I went. Again, it was like the second time I used it. I used it on my car. Not that my car needed it, but I was like, okay, I got to try this out. The app is really good. It connects through Bluetooth. It tells me everything. And if I wanted to print it out, I could. You could download a PDF file and send it to them or whatever, like the customer. And yeah, it completely worked. I don't want to put Eddie on blast or anything, but so I'm checking it, and at first it's struggling. The van turns on, it's like and it goes on. So I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be the starter if it's struggling like that. So test the battery. It's reading at 12 volts, perfectly good. Start it. It has trouble, and it says, yeah, bad, starting voltage low. I'm, all right, cool. Test the alternator just to be sure, because he did say the battery was kind of dead, and I was like, all right. Test it. Alternator's fine. It's kicking up to 14 volts, 14.5 or whatever. All right, cool. Like it's probably going to be the starter. So I'm looking for the starter. I didn't look it up. I'm just like looking to see exactly where it's at. Under the hood and looking for this. Dude, it's like by the transmission. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be an all-day job. Like I didn't bring my ramps. And he was like, oh, all right, well, we wanted to take it to Utah and stuff, but I guess not. Like, all right, so we're going, and I'm just checking. I'm just like doing normal checks. Like, oh, the battery's still like relatively new. And then I look at the connections, and it's just a rule of thought. If you're going to check the battery and you're looking and you're like, hey, the battery's like not working or this and that, just jiggle the connections, because the positive was loose. So I was like, okay, well, this could be it, because every time the car starts or it's running, that terminal's shaking. So it could possibly... it really does. It moves. Yeah, like anything. Bolts.
It's like a bolt. Yeah, it's like a bolt or a screw. It's kind of
bolts can come loose through vibration, and that's something like that happened. Again, I don't want to put any on blast, but he was like, "Oh, I put the battery on like 2 years ago." So again, 2 years ago. So he could have tightened it, and then the bolt just got loose. Yeah. So I was like, "All right, cool." Well, I loosened it up a little bit, and then I tightened it down more to where that terminal wasn't moving. I was like, "All right, cool. Let's try it again." I ran the test all over again. Cherry. We turned the van on and off again like 3 or 4 times, and cherry. I'm like, hey, it's running good. It's possible that was it, because it's just shaking and the terminal's moving and it's not getting a proper connection. And he was like, all right, cool. I was like, if anything, just drive it for the rest of the week. I think they were going to leave this weekend or something. But I was like, just drive it, run your errands all day today, Sunday and all that.
Do your normal shit with it.
And if nothing happens, and he hasn't texted me or he hasn't said anything.
It's funny because it's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I think when I got I didn't get into an accident. When I fucked my car up in the parking lot, I hit the pole and I had to take it to the body shop, and I got the car back, and then I drove it to my house. I was in the parking lot, and I think we were going to go somewhere, and I was going to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, you were going to go do something. I forgot what. I don't know. I forgot. It doesn't matter. And I was in the parking lot. I'm trying to start my car, and it was doing the same thing. It was clicking like, and then I got scared because usually when the battery is kind of dying, like at least the lights will turn on. Oh no, it wasn't turning on at all. Nothing was turning on. The lights weren't turning on. My dash wasn't turning on. Nothing was turning on.
Yeah, it was like it was completely dead.
Like, what the fuck, my battery, bro? What the fuck? So I'm over here scared, and I was like, Saida had jumper cables, so we tried to jump my car, and the same thing. Nothing. I was like, oh my god. My fucking battery's dead, bro. My fucking battery's dead. So I called you in fucking panic mode. Like, hey, dude, I came. My car isn't starting. You're like, what the fuck? That's weird. Like, my car's 2019. This should not have a problem. Then like, whatever, you came and you're looking. First thing you do, you open the hood and you move it, and you're like, and I was like, what? You're like, it's just loose. And I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, look. And yeah, you like pulled it out, and I was like, I was like, why, dude? And then that's when you're like, oh, because the car's gonna be sitting there. They kind of just tend to disconnect it, so it just won't die. And I was like, well, they need to fucking tell me that. I'm over here panicking.
Yeah, because that's what you would think, that the shop would, obviously they would reconnect it before they gave it back to you, or at least tell you like, oh shoot, hey, my bad. But yeah, it happens, and even
my whole thing was like, what if I would have been driving home and I should just would have
it would have turned off if the negative would have disconnected. Yeah, it would have been bad, because I've seen the car, people do it too, where they'll change the batteries with the car on, and it's just, it runs off the alternator. You're not supposed to do that. I don't recommend that. So it probably would have stood on, but then something else could have happened or something. I don't really know the logistics.
I was mad because I was like, why don't they tell me? But then I was mad because I was like, why the fuck didn't I just?
Why didn't I just?
Like, the battery doesn't work. Let me, like, when your battery dies in the remote, the first thing you do is let me switch the batteries around. Yeah. Let me check the battery.
Yeah.
And nope. My first thought was like, fuck, I'm gonna call Alex, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my car.
Nah, but it like we were saying, it happens. It really does. I don't know
So
what
Eddie,
it.
don't feel bad.
Yeah, don't
You're
feel
not the
bad.
only one.
It's all right. But that too, it could have just gotten loose over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens a lot. Like even you'll see a bunch of memes too of people that change their own battery and they'll leave the plastic caps on. There's a bunch of like, customer states, customer complains. They change the battery and now the car doesn't start, and then the technician will go under and it's like, well, yeah, because you still have the caps on. Like you gotta have. It's not touching.
There's no flow. There's no current. There's no
it's not metal on metal. It's not touching that metal terminal. So batteries are, it could be a tricky thing, but also, as dumb as it sounds, like
check the simple stuff.
just check the simple stuff.
Shit.
Like the easier it is, like it could happen. Like even when you have we've seen where people their battery tie down's not on, so the whole battery's shaking as well. Like it's nothing holding
Somebody
it.
we know too. Like, you wouldn't go check.
Maybe I don't remember, but
I think it was Vicky.
Yeah.
With this recent car.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
moving.
Yeah. So it could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's little stuff. Believe it or not, vibration happens a lot. You'll see too when people put on their exhaust, the bolts, they won't torque them down or whatever, and they just back themselves out, and then exhaust delete is just gone, left the chat. But that tool, I'll put it in this. We'll put it in the description of the podcast. But so far I liked it. I've used it twice, 2 different cars, and it works perfectly. Obviously, my car I knew it was gonna pass because the alternator and starter. I've never had problems with it. The battery is relatively new. So I knew, okay, cool. Like, that was a good basis, right? Like, I was like, oh, damn, just trying to figure out what I could do with it. And then when I went to Eddie's house and did that, and it legit, like, oh, yeah, it's the starter. And it's because it was reading that because it was having trouble, but it's because the terminals weren't connected correctly.
Yeah.
But if it was like another diagnostic, like a battery starting charging test, there it is. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts.
Like,
there's a bunch of times where you hear the clicking and you're like, oh, well, it's not the starter because it's clicking, or hit the starter, or it could be the alternator, and then you're just guessing. But with this simple thing, just tells you straight up. So
that's cool.
It's a really good pickup. That too, I've last couple episodes brought it up. I bought a toolbox, a used one.
Oh yeah.
I gotta start moving my stuff into it. I don't think I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna try and wrap it. I kind of want to wrap it. Just because it's easier. And then I could just, I don't know, buy like a full roll and know that it'll cover it. Yeah, might as well. I mean, the box is used and kind of crappy, so I can't make it any worse. I really can't. Like, there's no way. So, but so this coming up weekend, since it is pay week, baby, I'm gonna start getting like tool the tool like accessories, like to organize it. There you go, tool organizers. Little foam pads, things like that. I also bought another ratchet, and I still haven't used, I've used my one new snap-on ratchet, and then I bought another one, so I'm just addicted now. So there's cool ratchets, but actually, there's this story, right? So we were doing this bus last week. Now that we're talking about it, because that's who the homie Robert was like, hey man, you're buying too much stuff. Like, use the other ratchet first, and then buy a new ratchet. I'm like, man, fuck you, okay? But I was like, you're right. But anyways, so on that day we were working. And we had this bus, and it was the end of the day. The boss is all, hey, guys, that other truck, bring it in. We're going to do a swap, a balance. Like, the 3 of you can knock it out. NASCAR. All right, cool. NASCAR racing. There we go. We're doing it. Da-da-da-da. The homie Gary's working on the bus. Gary's black, right?
That's the older guy, right?
Yeah, he's the older guy. He does our balances and our steering wheels, and he's on there. Da-da-da-da. It was me, Pedro, Robert, and Jesus doing the balances. So, like, as one was picking it up, the other one was just hitting it. All right, cool, take it. And Gary was working on the bus, doing the steering wheel. Does all that. We finish. Jesus is over there with Gary, kind of like, come on, Gary. Like, we got to go. Let's go.
Hurry up.
All right, so Gary finishes it. And, like, he's asking us, like, hey, take it out. And I don't know what happened, but he just goes, hey, Jesus, back of the bus. Get out of here. We're all, whoa. I went up. I was like, Gary. Everybody in the world just like, hey, whoa. And he's all laughing, dude. I go, Gary, out of everybody, you're going to say it had to be you? He's like, hey, man, I'm just saying, man. Like, y'all. And we're like, damn, Gary, like, relax, dude. And it's funny because he is an older guy. He's like damn, turn your alarm off. Anyways.
Was it mine?
I doubt it. But,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. No? I don't think so.
No, it's not.
No, it's not yours. We're good.
All right, we're good.
It was just noise. You'll hear it. We'll try and lower it as much as we can. But yeah, he was like, "Yo, back of the bus," and we're just like, "What the fuck, dude? In June, in June, you're gonna say with your skin color?"
Oh,
and he was just laughing. We're like, "Fuck, Gary, like, come on, man, like, what's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding, man. Like, and yeah, he's an older black guy. Yeah, but for real, like, someone get this bus out, and it was just funny. We're like, all right, cool, well, whatever. So it's been a trip. Talked about it with Pedro. We fired a guy. It was a weird week.
That was funny because you're like, oh, you told me and John, and you're like, oh yeah, they fired him, and then you went to work that Friday. And usually Fridays for you are chill. You always tell me like, oh yeah, Friday we're done by 3. I'm out by 3:30.
We're gone.
And we were at practice on Thursday, and you're telling me like, fuck, tomorrow's gonna suck. And I was like, it's Friday, dude. And you're like, nah. They just fired somebody, and 2 guys are on vacation. So
three guys were on vacation.
Oh,
so we were 4 people short.
4 people short. And like the only guys left there are, it's like me that does the alignments, and then some other guy that, you know, kind of doesn't really know what he's doing. And then I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
and then he even texted John in the morning, hey John, if you got any trucks, keep it light. Don't
keep
send
it light
shit
with the
over
boss.
here.
Yeah, because our boss stresses out a lot, and he does it to himself. For the same reason, so they fired the guy, and before they fired the guy, he approved the vacation for these 3 guys, and he was even asking the señoras in the front, hey, like, they're all asking for the same weekend, because that too, they have the same group of friends, so they were going to a bachelor party, and they're like, he was like, oh, I don't know who to give it to, like, they're not all gonna be able to get it, and one of them was like, okay, if you're gonna give it to anybody, give it to this guy and this guy, because the other guy's always calling off, he's late, he's inconsistent, and he was like, no, I'll just give it to them, and then she goes, okay, if anything, the guy that we fired, hey, bring him from the other side to come to the floor, and then Pedro can go on the lineman rack, and now we have 3 people on the rack, and you still have 2 people on the floor, 2 or 3 people on the floor. All right, cool, yeah. Fuck.
That same day, bro.
3 days later,
that dude, they were gonna move over to the lineman rack is gone.
So we're like, oh Jesus. So there we are. Yeah. Luckily, I don't know. It's like if the boss sent out a mass email, like if you're gonna come, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna wait. Be a fucking and this and that. And even then, we had that too. Like, people come, they want their trucks aligned. And if you go to the dealership, they tell them it takes you a week, so they make you wait a week. Mm-hmm. So they'll have your truck for a week, and they'll get it done, and then whatever. Us, we do it the same day, so we don't take appointments, because our whole philosophy is we're gonna lose money. Because every time people make appointments, they're either late or they just don't show up. Yeah. So we're like, we'd rather have the people come in, wait in line, and and it's been working. It's worked all these years, and I see it. It's fine. But we always have these people that come in, and how long is it going to take? Well, a couple hours. You have a couple trucks ahead of you. So will it be done before 10? Maybe, because again, not to sound like asshole, but every time they ask, I go, I don't know, it's going to take a couple hours. Well, how many? And it's like, well, I don't know, because that too, if your alignment's off really bad, some trucks are super finicky. So it's like, okay, it's going to take me longer, or it's going to be quick. So I always tell them, if the alignment's off really bad, it's going to be longer. If not, it's going to be done quick. And then you have those people that come, and they're like, oh, okay, because I have to go pick up a load in like 2 hours. And it's like, well, why would you schedule that the same day, dude?
Yeah. Or why would you wait till now to come try to get the alignment done?
And then not only that, they come, and it's like, we open our doors at 7. Well, we open the gate at like 6:30. And at 6:30, there's already a line. Yeah, when we're not busy, obviously there's no line. But when we're busy, there will be a line. There's already 10 trucks. There's already 10 trucks ahead. And this dude decided to show up like at 11. And he was like, I have a pickup at like 12. We take lunch at 11:30.
We take lunch at 11:30, bro. You're gonna have to wait it even longer.
And even that, so whatever. I got lucky enough to do it, and he was already like, oh. Like, I'm going to go. I'm going to have to leave. And then when I got his truck, he was like, how long? And I was like, I got to check it out, maybe an hour and a half. Oh, okay. So I'm checking it, this and that. His bushings were bad, so we couldn't even do the alignment. So I tell him, and he's like, oh, okay, well, I got to go anyways. Will I be okay? And I'm like, you're going to be fine, for a couple loads or something. Like, just come back as soon as possible. For work, you could set up appointments because it's less. Mm-hmm. But I don't know why people oh, okay, like I'm gonna go and it's gonna be fine. And yeah, Fridays too, like they are kind of chill because we have like a set schedule. Like, okay, we have this many trucks to work on, it's gonna be fine. Or these are gonna be for Monday, so we don't gotta really worry about them. Yeah. But a lot of people decide like on the long weekends, everybody will show up on Friday. And it's like, where were you Monday through Thursday? Yeah, and then they get mad because they're like, well, I was waiting in line at 7. And it was like, yeah, but there was people here at 6:30.
And then the ones from yesterday.
And yeah, and the flow. So it's like, I'm sorry, you're 10th in line. And one of the big things that I hate, we'll be looking for trucks, right? Because again, it's, a lot of these people are foreigners in that they're like Chinese, Korean, they're Arabic. We get a bunch of different races there. So English isn't their first language. So when they sign in, it's kind of hard to understand them sometimes. So they'll say a truck name or their company name, and we're like, okay, we kind of just write it down like maybe. So we do that, and we ask for their truck number, and sometimes they don't even give us the right truck number, or it's hard to understand their truck number. And so we'll have the list, and I'll go out and I'll be looking, and it's always the one company. It's always U.S. Transline or Cargo Solution. These guys annoy the crap out of me, like all of them. And you might say like, oh no, you're racist because they're all one race, but it's just that company. Every time you go out, they'll be a line, 10 trucks in front of them. They're the 10th person, and they just get there, right? They just show up, and I'll be like walking out to get another truck, and oh, my truck's right here. It's like, dude, you just got here. You just got here. There's no way in hell.
Wait for your name to be called.
Yes,
please.
dude. Yes, every single time. And I'll be this past one. I believe it was U.S. Transline. And I was looking, and I started getting smart with them because they pissed me off so much. Because okay, one of the guys one time, he came in early and he was the first one, and then he said he kept coming back and forth that his truck's pulling a little more this way, and then that too, he was like, "Where's Gary? The black guy? He aligned my truck really well." And I was like, "He doesn't do alignments." He was like, "Yeah, he does. He was telling me." I was like, "No, he wasn't telling you." I was like, "He balances our tires," and he was like, "Oh well." He said he did my alignment last time. I was like, that's a lie. You know, I know Gary hypes himself up, but I've never, he's not going to say he does alignments. I was like, there's no way in hell. So whatever. Our boss was like, I'll drive it. I'll test drive it. So he was the first one in line. But when we do a recheck, we drive it again. And then we go from there. So we skipped him. And they told him inside, okay, our boss will drive it. Just wait up by your truck. The truck I happened to get was next to his. I get in, and the guy goes, "Hey, no. This is my truck. My truck's first." I go, "Oh, I know that, but they're going to test drive it again." I don't test drive it because I don't have the license for it. Like, I'm not going to go. And he literally went like this to my face. No. Just wait. I was like, what the fuck? And the guy's truck that I was bringing up, he was there. And I was like, I'm telling him, our boss is going to drive it. The boss is going to drive it. And he's just like, no. And not that ever since then, but then after that, more of the people from that company are always like that. And they're like, oh, entitled? Yeah. And they're always like, oh, what truck number are you looking for? And I'll be like, not yours. And I just keep walking. And they sometimes they laugh like, oh, this fucking guy. And sometimes they're like, what the hell? But it's because,
stop being
and
assholes,
it's bad,
dude.
but they're all like that.
Stop
like every single
assholes.
one of them, I'm telling you, they could show up at 10:30 with 5 trucks ahead of them, and you'll walk out behind them after they checked in. Or you're gonna get my truck? No, dick. I literally heard you just sign in, and did you not hear, Jasmine tell you that there's
X amount of trucks
5 trucks ahead of you? Come earlier next time. And it annoys me. And it happens every single time they're there. Every single time. And they do bring us good money. Our boss, that's why I think they might have like an account with us or something. Yeah. So whatever, not that we kiss their ass, but we're like, okay, we're gonna help.
But you want to keep them around. Yeah. But goddamn, dude,
like,
don't be a fucking asshole either.
Yeah, just calm down, dude. And it happens all the time. And yeah, that day, what was this past one? Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, it was like last Monday.
We had like 2 of them, and they came late too. And again, when we say late, you're late if you're there at 10. You're late if you're there at 9, right? Oh, how many are left? Oh, like, I don't know. And then sometimes we have the list, and it'll be the front and the back. And that too, they'll be like, "Oh, when am I up?" And I'll literally be an ass, and I'll go through the list.
I'm gonna flip to the back.
Hold on, 18. Oh yeah, you're 20, dude. Relax. And they'll be like, "Oh, okay." And it's just annoying, and it's every single time. It's like, it's a whole company, so it's like you guys all talk, you guys show up constantly. So how do you not know that this is what the process is? This is what it's gonna be.
You're coming acting like it's your first time, not knowing.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, you have other clients, dude. You just have to attend other trucks.
It's fucking ridiculous. And then lately too, we've been like, the customers for some weird reason think like, they'll like go, oh, I left something in my truck, or I need this for my truck. And okay, we'll let them go and grab their phone charger or whatever. Because if they are gonna be there a while, they're gonna be there a while. Go ahead and grab it. And lately they've decided like, oh, that's an open invitation. That means I could walk around the shop. And so they'll be like walking around. Oh, they'll get their thing, and then they'll just like take 2 steps back from the door, and they're just
I guess watching.
And ever since Firestone, I've always had the thing. I learned like, just don't tell them like get out. You can't be in here. But I learned that if you tell them, oh hey, you can't be in here because you can get hurt. Don't want you to get hurt, or could you step out? It's dangerous to be in here. Oh, okay, sorry. Usually they're a little more. Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh yeah, you're right. I could get hurt,
dude. We tell them constantly like, relax. One time I had this dude he kept coming in, and we have waiting areas. We have a lunch
I seen that
table
front, right?
outside with a thing,
umbrella
and then we have like another little office inside. And this dude, one time I told him, I was like, oh, you can't be in here. Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry, brother, sorry. And he stepped out, and he was like right on the fucking edge, dude, right on the crisp of it. And then he just like took another step in. And then another, and he was inside again. And I'm like, so I'm going around the truck. Hey, buddy, you can't be in here. Oh, it's because it's hot out there. And I was like, oh, well, we have the waiting area over there, and you can go inside. Oh, no. And he started coming up with this other bullshit. I was like, look, if you stay in here, you're going to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. Dude, you're in flip-flops. Like, anything could fall on your foot. He goes, oh, well, I'll go get my boots. And I'm like, no, that's besides the point. You just can't be in here, dude. You can't be in here. We accommodate them so much. And we leave our restrooms open. Like, you know how nasty people are, dude? Like,
fucking gross.
They're fucking disgusting. They're the worst, dude. They're the worst.
Especially the truck driver. Not talking shit.
Yeah.
We know personally a lot of truck drivers. But truck drivers are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they're like there's 2 sides of the scale. Either they're super clean, or they're just way dirty.
Messy as fuck.
Yeah, and they're disgusting. Met. So it's just annoying. Talked about it with Pedro too. There was this one guy on Friday. We were working on his truck. One of the things was that last year the homie Jesus lent him a hammer because he was like, oh, I just need a hammer to do something. And Jesus was like, okay, and he lent him. It was like a rubber mallet, an orange one. Okay, here you go. He goes, okay, I'll bring it back to you. And then like I don't remember the guy, I don't remember the truck, but I remember because Jesus's alignment rack is next to me, and then I just remember him. Oh, motherfucker! What happened? He fucking took my hammer. You just see the truck take off. The dude came back a year later, and Jesus remembered it, and it was this past Friday.
My fucking hammer.
He's all, oh, it's the motherfucker that took my hammer, and I was like, what? Oh no way! He's all, yeah, dude. And again, I don't remember the truck. I don't remember the guy. I remember the hammer because it's bright orange. So that he went up to the guy, hey, dude, you have my hammer. I lent it to you. What? No. I wasn't here. I was here, blah, blah, blah. And then we have their records. We have literally the VIN number of the truck. And we're like, yeah, you were here like a year ago. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't take your hammer. And then went from that to like Jesus kept grilling. I'm like, yeah, I did because you had to do this and this. And he was like, oh, well, if there's a hammer in my truck, then you can take it if it's yours. And we're like, this
you motherfucker.
So the guy goes into the truck. Well, is this your hammer? And it was the orange one. Like, oh, is this your hammer? It just happened to, that only. And he was like, yeah, that's my hammer. And he's like, oh, sorry, buddy. Well, I when I left, I tried to go into the shop and I asked every mechanic here, oh, is this your hammer? And we're like,
it doesn't, motherfucker. Like, if I borrowed your hammer and I see Pedro, hey, bro, I borrowed some dude's hammer over there.
Yeah.
Here. I'm not going to be, is this your hammer or no? We know it's not his fucking hammer, dick. You know who's
you knew, yeah, because he took it from him. Jesus
I would have just been like,
handed it to him.
Give it to somebody that's wearing the same fucking uniform.
Exactly.
Even if you don't give it back to them that same day, you're going to be like, oh, shit, hey, bro, I got your hammer like 2 days ago.
Because even that, exactly. Even if he would have came like to me and the guy would have been like, oh,
I grabbed somebody's hammer.
He lent me the hammer. I would have just took it because fuck that. That's tools, dude. I don't care. And then after I would have, hey, who lent this dude? So we're like, what the, get the fuck out of it. Not only that, it's like, he walked in. He knew where Jesus was. The guy, like he knew where he worked at.
You know where you got it from.
Exactly. So it's like, how do you? So Jesus was just like, all right, cool, yeah. So we're doing work on his truck, and again, he was inside the whole time. And they looked at me like, hey, time to get out. It's like, well, all right, cool. All casually like, hey, buddy, you can't be in here. I don't want you getting hurt. Oh, okay, sorry. So he stepped out, and again, he's right on the edge of that gate, and then he walks back in like, oh. And again, I was like, fuck. So I go around again. And this time I go, like, hey, man, you can't be in here. And in his native tongue, he just goes off. I was like, oh shit. I went into Jesus and Pedro. I was like, dude, this motherfucker cursed me. Like, fuck you guys. You did something. My family's cursed now. Like, you fucking assholes.
Look about back pain the next day.
Yeah, dude. He was all mad, and he still came in. Like, Gary was doing a steering wheel, so the truck was blocking, but he like went in from this side, and this time Pedro saw him, and he was like,
so the fact that these motherfuckers are like obstacle coursing their way,
it's
not even like, oh, it's open, let me take a step inside. And
yeah,
like,
no,
you have to move around the trucks.
Yeah, and he was still trying. So exactly. It's like
he's going out of his way to go in.
Yeah, like, dude, relax. Like, go stand over there. And so this time Pedro sees him and he's like, hey, buddy, you can't be in here. Oh, okay. He goes around the truck, comes down to the other side, and just steps over. And this time Pedro's like, I got this. So he's by the scrap bin. Pedro grabbed like 2 rods or 2 bushings that they were using. Hey, you can't be in here. And threw the things in like his direction, but to the scrap bin. But everyone goes, oh, okay. And he left. We're like, dude, how many times do we have to tell you?
Jesus Christ, bro.
And then not only that, so we're changing. And he was taking his sweet time to leave, and I don't know what. And he came in, he took a piss while we are all changing in the locker room. And the homie Jesus, how do you say it in Spanish? He's like, tiene la tentación a llevar algo, or he said something like that. So he was like, he wants to take something. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? So Jesus stood out. He walked out and he sat on our benches where we wait, and when the rest of us were changing, and he was kind of like just
like looking at everybody.
Yeah. And so he washed his hands and then he left. All right, cool. And Jesus comes in. He's like, yeah, motherfucker wanted to take some. I could tell already. And I was like, why? He was like, well, dude, one, he had an old tire in the back where his fifth wheel's at, because he had just changed the tire, so he had just had that one as an extra just in case. And we didn't touch it. We didn't touch that tire. So he goes, that when it was done, Jesus pulled it out and he was like, oh, where's my chain at? You guys have the chain on my tire. And Jesus was like, what chain are you talking about? Because we didn't grab a chain. And he's like, the one that holds my old tire, the back one. He was like, no. And he looks at the scrap bin, and there's a chain on the scrap bin, right? Keep in mind, he goes, that's my chain. And Jesus is all, no, it's not. And Jesus laughs because we have that chain welded onto the scrap bin.
Oh, I think I've seen it. That's
and he goes and he grabs it and he goes, oh, that's not mine. And then he points like further into the shop. That's my chain. Like, Jesus was just like, it's not your chain, dude. It's not your chain. Too, like, yeah, go see what that's connected to. Fuckface. And so he was just like, that's my chain. Oh, no, well, you guys took my chain and I don't know what, this and that. And it's like, no, you took our hammer first and then lied about it and then got caught and then dug yourself even deeper by saying, oh, people, dude. And we're just like, he was there all day. He was just a pain in the ass, and I get it. He was probably tired and annoyed, but it's just like, what good? What is this change?
Yeah,
like,
what are you getting out of it?
What are you getting out of it, dude?
People are fucking stupid.
So it was.
Not only that, like the way I see it, like when you work on cars and I'm with you and stuff, it's cool because we're kicking it. Like me, you, John, Nathan, whatever. We're working on the car. Out. But you're at work. I don't want to see you work. I'm not gonna be following. Hey, what's this? No, dude, you're at work. I know you're at work. Not only do I not want to bother you, it's fucking boring to me because I can't be like, hey, dude, last weekend. It's not one of those, it's a 30-minute job that turned into a 4-hour job. Like, no, you want to get this shit done. I don't want to bother you. And then it's just boring to me because I know you're not going to want to talk to me. Yeah. If I'm like, hey, you're fucking changing my oil or whatever, but you're at work. I take it, for example, if you were at Firestone, taking my shit to you at Firestone, and I'm in the shop and I'm just like, hey, Alex, hey, dude, after this, what's up? We're going to go get lunch and we're going to get that. And you're going to be like, I don't know. Because you're gonna give me short answers because you're working.
Like, let me just get this done.
Why am I gonna try to go and conversate with you while you're at work trying to get my shit done? Like, I don't want to be in there looking at that. Yeah. Not only that, I'm not gonna go out of my way to walk around a bunch of cars, a bunch of trucks, a bunch of tractors and buses to get to where the fuck you're at.
Parts on the floor. Yeah, like, why? I don't know.
Like, who in their right mind goes to a shop, any kind of shop, whether it's a diesel or regular car shop, and sees all the oil on the floor? You motherfuckers are wearing non-slip, steel toe boots in a uniform, all fucking dirty, all ripped. The cars are in the lifts. You have shit everywhere. And I'm gonna walk under the lift.
Now let me see what's going on over here.
Oil. No, dude, I'm gonna fuck around and I'm gonna fucking trip, try to grab onto the lift, and the car's gonna fall on me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Not only that, like I said, dude, a bunch of these guys are in Crocs.
Yeah. The truck drivers they wear fucking sandals or wearing flip flops. They're
trying to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, dude, fuck that, bro.
It's like not even that something heavy. Like if I drop my wrench on your toe, like, it's gonna hurt.
Two times where when I used to work there, I went to go buy you lunch.
Yeah.
And I went to the lineman racks and I was like, I took a step and I was like,
Like to kind of go in
And
there.
then I was trying to get your attention, and then you'd be doing it, and it's like it's fucking noise.
Yeah.
And one time Gary was just like, "Oh, Alex,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
brother's here."
Yeah, hey, man,
I was
your
like, all
brother's
right.
here.
Then they turn around, you're like, "Oh, come here," and I was like, "Nah, fool, you come get
Yeah,
it."
just
And I
shit
think
that's
that time it was
fine.
Robert. He was like, "Oh, you're here for Alex?" I was like, he's like, "Alex,
Yeah.
your brother." And I was like, "Dude, I don't want to walk in, dude.
Yeah, just come in,
Get
dude.
the
It's fine.
fuck out."
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't know. I guess one thing, obviously, we're working on, and that's how they make their money. But at the same time, it's like just calm down, just relax. Like
The more you're over here, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You do it right.
the more I'm gonna fuck up because
The
I'm
more
like
the more you don't shut the fuck up, the longer it's gonna take you to do it.
exactly. I've had that too. I've told people, oh well, I gotta do this, and there's some people that are super chatty, like
Yeah.
super. They'll tie you everything down to why they got into trucking, and it's like
I don't care.
I just wanted to know if you bought these tires new or used.
When was the last time you had
Yeah,
the oil change?
that was it.
When it was after me greased it up.
And then they'll ask, but like, how long is it gonna take? I just go like, well, depending on how long this conversation goes, 'cause it's not ending anytime
Tell you
soon.
right now, I haven't
Apparently,
even started.
yeah. So it's just
That was fucked.
it was just crazy. There was just so much going on this past week. That whole thing. So everybody was kind of on edge. Like, okay, like what do we do? Like relax, and then
Nah, but what you told me the guy got fired for, I don't know if I want to talk about it, but it was
Well,
kind of.
yeah. We don't go into detail. We won't go into. We talked about it with Pedro, but
Oh, yeah,
it
well,
was
they
just,
say
it was
for-
just
but it was just like,
yeah.
yeah, dude, you're gonna. What'd you expect? It's
Yeah.
not one of those things where the boss is picking on you or they
No.
don't like me. Nah, dude. For it to happen more than once,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Sucks.
Dude. It's a fucking
It
problem.
sucks. But yeah, because it happened, and we were all just like, oh shit, like did he really let him go? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, he's over there waiting. He's like, he's over there by his toolbox. He hasn't
Oh,
left
that's
yet.
a whole other story.
So
Like,
we're like,
it was
what
just
the
waiting there. Oh,
Yeah.
that was,
So we're like, holy
it was an eventful Friday. and I
fuck?
wasn't
It
even
wasn't.
there.
Yeah, it
I
was
was-
an eventful
I
Friday.
was just getting the achievement through the text.
Yeah, but I told John, I was like, keep it light, dude. Like, I'm
That
not
shit
even
was
saying
funny.
because it's Friday. I'm just saying because if you,
This fucking-
hey, we need this and this, that was just gonna yell at you. Well, you know what? I don't have enough. So it was just a lot. But I mean, other than that, here we are. Freaking mobile stuff is cool. Oh, I forgot I gotta find where where we're gonna do that pop up event in 2 weeks.
I know. I don't know the address, but it's on the corner of Beverly and Finley, across the street. I think not from the Astro Burger. Some other
SoCal.
spot.
Is it SoCal Burger?
No, it's around Astro Burger on Beverly.
Is it where it splits?
No,
No.
no. It's a little bit. If you're
Roberto's.
coming from Montebello Boulevard, it's a street after passing Garfield. So Garfield and Beverly, going toward East LA, going toward Atlantic. I don't know fucking which way is northeast.
Yeah.
But going toward Atlantic, it's
If
the
you're-
very next street.
If you're
if
going
com-
east.
yeah, if you're
Going
coming
east.
away from Montebello Boulevard,
Yeah, so
away
west.
from Pico toward East LA,
Yeah, you're coming
you're
west.
gonna pass Garfield. It's in between Garfield and the street's called Finley.
Oh
It's on
yeah.
Beverly.
Oh okay, yeah, I remember now. It's
And it's
where that new Wingstop is at. It's like right there.
no, before that.
Okay, yeah,
You're not even on the right street. That's weirder.
you're right. That's weirder.
Beverly's
Never
on where
There's one
that
street down.
that E85 gas station. I think it's a Chevron. Is that where
Oh,
that
okay.
park is at?
mind. Yeah, yeah. But
I think it's
or
right now the sign still says it's like a what the fuck is it called? What does it sell houses? The real it's like a
Realtor.
realtor. But I think what the pop up is it's a
wellness center.
It's a grand opening for a
for
wellness
the,
center.
for the Montebello Wellness Center.
The Montebello Wellness Center. And I think it's most likely it's probably gonna be in the parking lot because they have a very
Yeah.
big parking lot. So it's gonna be there.
we can, yeah.
Yeah. My
Okay.
brother will put it up on his stories on
Yeah.
the
We'll throw it
the
up.
podcast page.
We'll
and
put a little
business
clip
page.
up with this.
But yeah,
But-
we're gonna be there next Saturday, June 22nd. We'll let you guys know. I think it's from 12 to 5, 12 to 4.
I think it's even earlier. I think it's from like 9:30 to 4.
Oh shit!
So we're gonna be there all day. It's gonna be a full
I don't
8-hour
know.
shift.
But yeah, guys, pull
But-
up, bring us some lunch. Astro Burgers across the street.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
hamburger special.
If you bring us a hamburger special, we'll give you some shirts. And I'm not just saying one. But yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff. We're still trying to get rid of our Valentine's Day shirts, so
Yeah,
we'll
man,
probably
pull
have
up.
those
We're
at
gonna have a
a
lot of
discounted
sales.
price.
Yeah.
Our most recent T-shirts, which is the so many tools, so little time, and then the tacos, the single de Mayo shirt.
The single amount. Let me get something real quick. What is it? Tacos, cervezas, and fast cars.
Cool cars, I think. So
Cool
cars.
Cars.
or something.
They are on heavyweight shirts.
Yeah, they're
And
9
let
ounces.
me tell you, those shirts
They are heavyweight.
feel- but they feel
But they're premium.
good. They
Yeah.
feel
They're a nice shirt.
They're really they're heavy, but they're not they're not like Pro Club or Shaka heavy where you're gonna
Yeah.
they're comfortable.
Yeah,
They're
it's a
heavy,
nice shirt.
but they're thin. They're light. I don't know how to explain it. But
Everybody that has them
they're
has
comfortable.
given me good
They're-
reviews about
yeah,
it.
they're really. I like them. And I remember when
Yeah.
you gave it to me, you're like, "Hey, fool, they don't stretch. They're kind of tight." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck!" But I put it on. It was comfortable.
Yeah,
I
it's
wore
like
it-
it's.
I wore it
fitting,
for
it's
Nathan's
nice.
barbecue 2 weeks ago in Fontana in fucking 100-degree weather. And I
Yeah.
was fine.
So it is a little, again, it will be a little bit warmer just because it is more material. It's a thicker material, but it is a premium
really
quality
nice shirt.
t-shirt.
It's my brother's first time doing a shirt like this on that material shirt,
Yeah.
and I really like it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of
It's
positive things.
really-
The homie
it's
Pedro
really
said it was cool.
Yeah,
and
I
then
really like that.
the homie Robert was touching it. He's like, I really like the shirt. And I was like, all right,
Yeah,
so
I did too. I was like, this is the kind of shit that we need to start doing. But yeah, so we're gonna have those.
those.
Yeah,
and then
we'll
we're
put
gonna
that
have
address up.
a special like summer t-shirt. I
Yeah.
kind of sent something to Pablo, but I don't know if I'm going that direction because we also started doing other like designs,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll
still
see. We're
talking
gonna have
about
a
between us and John, the guy in the background. We gotta have
A
John up here,
background
man.
guy.
John's in
Yeah,
every
but John's
conversation
got
about the
stories
business,
too.
and we haven't had him. But yeah,
for sure.
John's usually the guy in the background. He's the Jamie of the podcast.
Honestly.
we're asking him everything. He's telling us how to do it. But yeah, guys, pull up. Fuck it. Get some custom shirts made.
Get some
While you're
t-shirts.
there,
Yeah,
come,
we'll
just
be
come
there.
hang out. We'll
Shoot
be
through, hang out, and then support Montebello. I don't know that wellness center. Our sister
there.
works for the East Los Angeles.
Yeah, and it's
Women's-
good stuff, man.
So-
It's a non-profit.
Yeah, they do
It's a
good things.
women's wellness. So they do a lot of good things.
So,
Really good things.
I'm hoping
So,
this one does something good.
Need your business, guys. And it's not only gonna be us. I don't know if she's
There's
gonna
other
give you a
vendors.
layout of other vendors and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's gonna be a pop-up event. It's gonna be I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a food vendor.
Yeah, there's gonna be
like
food.
drinks.
Sure, there's gonna be like a little bit of music,
Yeah,
arts and crafts. What that entails, I don't know anymore. So
Face
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, they're gonna get face painted and all that.
But
and then people like us,
come hang out,
selling
man.
t-shirts, come hang out.
Come hang out.
Buy some t-shirts. But yeah, again, this week's gonna be a double header. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna hit episode 40, which is pretty exciting.
Damn.
I remember a couple episodes ago, I think the first video podcast we had, you were like, not many people even get to 20.
Yeah, I don't know who said it. I think it might have been Joe Rogan.
Maybe.
But people, once they hit 20 and they're like,
They just die
that's not
out.
for me. They just stop doing it. So they don't
And-
get to 21.
And
doubled it.
we doubled it. And we're getting better. We just introduced the multicam, and that's pretty fun. We got these new the pod mics, the new DSLR cables, which we got to get Pablo one so that we were all colored up. We finally have 4, so we could have 4 people on all at once. Video.
Last time we had Felipe on, we're like,
Yeah,
yeah, let's have
like-
Sammy. We're like, fuck, we don't have enough.
we don't have enough
cables.
cables. Yeah, we're maxed out.
So we have fucking
It's just-
6-7 mics. And
Yeah, just
2 cables.
So 40 episodes. We got to start planning something for 50. Maybe we
Yeah.
could do our own pop up
Be
in a
the
live
top.
event.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So we can have like a Q&A and things like that. But yeah, definitely follow us on Instagram, THG_Shop Talk, the Heights Garage, the Heights_Auto Spa. So you can get your car detailed. Hit us up if you need your car maintenance, so oil changes or just a little advice. We just got more tools, so we'll be able to do your starting, charging,
man.
battery testing, and just keep it going, keep listening. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe. You could listen to us everywhere on YouTube, all that, Spotify, and head over to the website, theheightsgarage.com. We'll see you June 22nd at the Montebello Wellness Center. Thanks for listening, and as always, keep it Boyle Heights built.